Good morning. Today we're going to talk about one of the most famous violists of all time, Beethoven. Yeah, that's right, Beethoven was a violist. We claim him. But instead of practicing, I thought it would be fun to make Beethoven's coffee. In his life, Beethoven was a chaotic mess, and his scores were no different. His scores are chicken scratch. They're impossible to read. And yet at the same time he had a laser-like focus. He had such an attention to detail. His coffee was kind of the same. He had a cup of coffee every day, and he demanded that his coffee be made with 60 beans exactly, and he meticulously counted out each bean. So I thought it would be fun to make Beethoven's coffee. I've got Northern African coffee. This is probably what he would have been able to source in Vienna in 1800. And I'm going to roast it. I've never roasted coffee before. I'm going to use a kind of a non-traditional method, or maybe it's really traditional. It's a cast iron pan, because that's what I have. And maybe that's kind of how they would have done it back then. And we're going to brew it in two different ways. I've got a drip system, which is what I use for my everyday coffee. And then I also picked up on Amazon a balloon vacuum siphon, and this is like a crazy glass contraption. I've never used it before, but we're going to do a little taste test between the two and kind of see maybe if I feel that inspiration to practice at the end of all of this. My cast iron pan has been heating for about the last 10 minutes. This thing is, it's really heavy, but it's holding a lot of heat, and I've got my green beans. Let's see what happens. I have to keep stirring them so that they don't get burned. So hopefully this thing will take like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I cook a lot with cast iron, and the reason is it distributes heat very evenly, and it's also natural non-stick. Honestly, it smells like a farm. They're already starting to get toasted now. I can see some color developing. And I keep losing beans. How's that for some ASMR? Ooh, it's starting to look like coffee. I mean, kind of. So I was joking, not joking earlier, when I said that Beethoven is a violist, because his first job was as a violist in Bonn, and then later he decided he wanted to try his hand at being a pianist and composing. Okay, this is starting to look like something. Look at that color. Isn't that nice? The coffee is starting to lose its chaff. That's that kind of papery skin that it has. When it gets heated up, and it actually, I think the beans actually get bigger. I need a face shield. I don't want to lose an eye. Yeah, I keep losing beans. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep the beans in the pan. I'm spilling the beans. Yes, I did just say that. It's starting to take on kind of a toasty, caramelized, you know, that warm coffee smell. It's starting to get a little bit of that. I wonder what kind of a roast Beethoven liked. If he liked like a full French roast, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know what other kinds of roasts are. I don't know anything about coffee, really. I'm just doing this for fun. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That looks nice. It's making a nice crackling noise like wood in the fireplace. It's very comforting. You know, I'm losing my perspective on color. I've been standing here so long that I can't tell if it's, you know, coffee-like. I need like a coffee bean, like a regular roasted coffee bean, so I can compare the color. Some of them look done, and some of them look not quite as done. Maybe I should just call it. Maybe that's it. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to say that's coffee. I've had enough. I'm going to take that, put it into my colander to help it cool off, because I want to stop the roasting at this point. I don't want it, wow, that's heavy. I don't want it to roast anymore, so I'm going to put it in this colander to let it breathe out and let some of the chaff fall off. I can see my breath, it's cold out. This is winter in Rochester. I've gone outside because this is going to be a really messy part of the process. I'm just going to transfer back and forth between the two colanders to let all that papery chaff fly out. And I don't want that inside the house. Look, it's snowing coffee. Wow, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Isn't that just beautiful? Look at this. Ooh, the beans are nice and warm. Honestly, I could listen to that all day. 60 beans weighs 8 grams. To put this into perspective, I usually use at least double that for my morning brew. So this is going to be pretty light. The next thing to do is to grind the coffee. So I'll put it here. I have a burr grinder. I'm not going to do this by hand. Come on, let's be real here. Here we go. We're finally ready to brew some coffee. I have two systems here. I have my drip system. This is a Chemex automated system. And then I have this vacuum balloon siphon. I've never seen one of these crazy contraptions before. I have no idea really how it works, but I'm excited to fire it up and taste the coffee. We're going to start with the Chemex. This is the drip system. So I put the coffee into the filter. That's very little coffee. Just take a look at that. This is really interesting. The drip coffee looks like tea. I mean, this is such a light color. This is not black coffee. Round two. I've got another 60 beans. I think this goes in here. I'm putting an 18th century flame on this instead of a 21st century. Okay. So the water's coming up. It's being forced up by the heat. And then I think, oh wow, can you see it filling up? That's really cool. Okay. Yeah, maybe you're done. Okay. I'm supposed to wait 60 seconds, but you know, this is a little too exciting. I can't wait. Aha! The coffee's coming out the bottom. Can you see that? Look at that. It is slowly filling with coffee. Coffee is made, now it's the moment of truth. I want to start with the drip coffee first. Okay, here we go. This is something that I'm familiar with because I do drink this brew method every day. So here we go. It's very light coffee. The flavor is good. It's good. I mean, it doesn't really taste like much. I would never put cream in there. I think that would just overpower it. And now, Beethoven's coffee. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm dying to try it. Do you like the cup? This is the 18th century, you know, this is to be authentic, really. Delicious. I feel like making music now. When you see me in the kitchen with my D'Addario apron on, that's when you know I mean business.